Hi everyone. So previously we discussed what classification is and the five kingdoms of living things, right? And we can say there are estimated total of 8.7 million type of living things on earth. And biologists classify living things into different groups. They classify all the living things by divided them into large groups called kingdoms. Well, if we talk about kingdoms, let's discuss the first one, the animal kingdom. Okay, we will explore the amazing group of animals that have backbones, learn what makes them special, and discover some really fun facts along the way. Well, let's dive in. Why we should classify animals? Have you ever tried to organize your toys or book? Yes, it's much easier, right? When you put some similar ones together, and scientists do the same with animals. They classify animals to understand how animals are related, learn about their special adaptations, and keep track of millions of species all around the world. Well, scientists have already identified about 1.5 million animal species, but they think there could be up to 10 million still out there waiting to be discovered. Well, and also you can say scientists are like detectives, always looking for clues to group animals together. Well, let's discuss the classes of or types of animal kingdom. Okay, so there are vertebrates and invertebrates. Okay, before diving deep into these two types, can you tell me, do you have backbone? Let's find out. Feel the bumpy part on your back, that's your spine, right? So animals are grouped into two giant categories, the animals with a backbone or spine and the animals without a backbone. Right? The animals that have backbone are called vertebrates, and the animals that don't have backbone are called invertebrates. Okay, let's take the examples of the vertebrates. They include cat, fish, dog, and birds, and they have internal skeleton that support their body. But guess what, vertebrates make up only about 5% of all animal species. That's it. But if we talk about invertebrates that don't have backbone, like insects, worms, jellyfish, and octopus, etc., so they make about 95% of all animals. Okay, well, let's dive into the vertebrates first. If we talk about the vertebrate VIPs, they are divided into further, you can say, 5 main groups, and each group has its unique property on the basis of which it is put into these groups. Okay, so these are mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians, and fish. Okay, if we talk about mammals, let's discuss this. Mammals, these are very special because they have hair or fur. If we talk about what their body is covered with, they are covered with hair or fur. Yes, even you can say whale. Whale is a mammal, right? It even whale have some. Okay, if we talk about their body temperature, they are warm blooded. Now what does warm blooded means? Warm blooded means they make their own body heat, and most mammals give birth to babies, and most importantly mother feed their babies with milk. All right, and we can take the example of mammals as dogs, cats, dolphins, bats, monkeys, and of course us humans. Well, the second group, flying high with birds. Okay, the bird group. Okay, these are the only animals with feathers. Okay, and what are their basics? Their feather keep them warm and help them with flight. Okay, and if we talk about their body temperature, they are also warm blooded just like mammals. Okay, and birds have beaks instead of teeth and hollow bones to make fly easy, and they have also they lay hard shelled eggs instead of giving babies. Okay, and you can take the example of birds like pigeons, sparrows, chickens, hawks, hummingbird. Okay, let me tell you in fun fact about hummingbird is like they can flap their wings up to 80 times per second. Amazing, isn't it? And they are the only birds that can fly backward. Okay, and not all the birds can fly. Actually, the penguins and the ostrich can't fly, but the pigeons are excellent swimmer though. All right. Now, let's meet the cold blooded critters. These are the reptiles and amphibians. And if we talk about the reptiles, they have dry, scaly skin that keeps water in, and they are cold blooded. What does cold blooded means? Like they can't produce body heat. Okay, so they use the sun to warm up. Okay, and they breathe with lungs and lay leathery eggs on land. And for example, you can take the examples of the reptiles as snakes, lizard, turtles, and crocodiles, etc. All right, and if we talk about amphibians, amphibians have smooth moist skin that absorbs water and oxygen. They are also cold blooded. Okay, and as babies they breathe with gills, and as adults they breathe with lungs. Like they breathe both with the gills and lungs, and they lay soft eggs in water. Okay, and examples include frogs, toad, salamander, and newts. Well, if we talk about amphibians, they have a double life, a part in water, a part on land. Frogs start a tadpoles with tails and gills but transform into adults with legs and lungs. Okay? That's called, you can say, metamorphosis. Finally, the last group, fish. Let's dive into fish. Okay, for fish were the first vertebrates on earth basically, and these are over 500, you can say they existed over 500 million years ago. They live their entire lives in water like oceans, rivers, and lakes, and most of the fish have scales like armor to protect their bodies because they have very soft bodies. Okay, and they breathe with gills taking oxygen directly from the water, and they are cold blooded also. And most of the fish lay eggs. Okay, most of the fish lay eggs instead of giving babies, and sometimes thousands at once. Okay, and examples include sharks, rays, trout, tuna, and clownfish, goldfish, and catfish. Okay, well, now it's your turn to be an animal detective. Let's solve some riddle. Can you tell me, is an octopus a vertebrate or an invertebrate? You have to answer it. Okay? These are some questions. And also, is bat a mammal or a bird? Because it gives birth, right? And you have to tell me. You have to answer these both questions. Okay? And with that, let's end our lecture. See you tomorrow. Bye.